Good morning, everybody. How's it going? Happy, is it Monday today? I don't even know anymore. Is it Monday? I think it's Monday.
It's Monday.
And look at that. I remembered to turn the volume up. And let's see. You're feeding your pet python. Wow. Let's see. Okay. All right. Very cool. So yes, Logan is here and he's very excited. You can probably hear him running about in the background. Wow. On your 4-hour lunch break, 2 hours to go. Nice. Oh, a KK Slider version of that intro music would be kind of awesome, I have to admit. So, welcome everyone today. Richard is here today, but he has got some work to do, so he will be popping in and out, but he is mostly going to be working in the other room.
Mostly popped out.
Mostly popped out. He's over there putting his Disney pin on at the moment.
Today is Robin Hood.
Yes, Robin Hood. Awesome. Hello,
Awesome,
Zarakino. Lego Overwatch Picks, Ingrid Wynn, Galligade, Mr. John, Stud Sidious, Shane Levan, Gwyneth is here. Hey, Gwyneth. Maximus Colin is here. Moto, Drew is here. Jake Potter, Legos for Life. Wow, this is crazy. This is awesome. So many people here this morning. Yes, Logan is even excited.
Because you're excited. So
Chris Barron, sorry, I hope I got everybody. Mason Bentley, how's it going? Jake Animation Studios, hi.
I'm just going to wish everyone a good morning. Flynn is actually going to take you through rebuilding something he made by himself today.
It's true.
And I'm going to take drawing tutorials in the other room for CAD drawing. So
Nice.
Have a great day. Bye.
So, hope everybody's. Thank you, Mr. John. Hey, JMW Music. Thank you. I'm so glad you're enjoying the show. We do, just for those people who are catching up, we do try to keep the stream spoiler free ish. We can talk about Lego Master stuff, but let's not talk about who won or lost or who got sent home or whatever. Just in case there's somebody who might be here watching and listening who hasn't seen the show. All right, so everyone, today we've gotten some requests to do some mock builds. So today I'm going to be rebuilding one of the sets that I built myself, which is my Alice in Wonderland mock called Down the Rabbit Hole, and you can see sort of like a small picture of it down there at the bottom. And I want to try to get a bigger picture up of it. And hey, Mark is here. Mark from the Bearded Builders. Mark Cruikshank is here. Hey, Mark, how's it going? Good to see you. Always glad to have you here on the stream. And soon we will be able to actually have you on as a guest, which will be very exciting. So let's go. So I will say this, just to touch on it, because we are living in the real world. We're going to talk Lego, but also yes, we are under stay-at-home orders. Sorry, I'm just like adjusting myself here. We're under stay-at-home orders here in California, so that's what we're doing. And to fight the boredom, we are doing this awesome live feed for everyone. And I apologize. Well, I was literally like throwing clothes and tea and everything together right before we went on. Because, I don't know if you've noticed yet, but if you look up in the upper left-hand corner of the feed right now, of the stream, you're going to see our new logo artwork by Mr. Kevin Hinkle. And y'all, it's so great. That's just sort of like the small version. There's a larger version that we're working on. And actually, if you go to it should be up as our channel art now for the YouTube channel. When you go to our main page, our channel art, change it over. It's such great work, y'all. And I definitely want to be able to show you all what it looks like, but I haven't quite gotten the hang of how to show pictures yet. So I will try to get on to that and see what's going on. Mr. John, no, we did not get to keep the stuff we made for Lego Masters. That is all owned by the show. So they get to keep everything. We don't get to keep any of it, unfortunately. As a bummer, that's kind of a bummer, I know. But So I've got to get a picture of the whole of Alice up here on my computer just so that I can, like, I need a little reference photo, something to go by, because really, I'm telling y'all, like, it was a sad state of affairs. I got back from Bricks Cascade, and here's what the MOC looked like when it got back. Yep. Thanks. Yes, the new logo is amazing. I'm pretty excited about it, actually. Hey, Willstro, how's it going? Good to see ya. So yeah, there's the Alice in Wonderland MOC completely taken apart. It's yeah, like I said, a sad state of affairs. But I'm gonna see if no, I'm not sure if I can pull this off because I'm not the greatest with this software. But I might be able to put in a picture of Alice here, and I'm gonna see if I can do that real quick. And I apologize to everybody if it takes me a minute, but I think you'll be happier once I get the picture up there. Let's see. Can I do this? It's gonna be tricky, but I think I can do that. They don't call us TrickyBricks for nothing, right? I'm gonna put this picture now. This isn't gonna be like the greatest version of this photo, but at least you can get an idea of what it looks like. And you can see I'm moving it around. Look at that. You can see everything I'm doing live. Isn't that exciting? That is the magic of that's the magic of me doing stuff while you're watching, is that you get to see it live here. So what's a Lego set that I recommend that's around $30? Well, I don't know what kind of stuff you like, Mr. John, but like there are luckily for all the ranges of Lego, there's all the themes, there's a price range and everything. So really what I would suggest is find a theme that you like and pick up one of the $20 or $30 sets that they make for them. I mean, it just really depends on what you're looking for, honestly. I don't know, because like I love the Harry Potter $20 sets that came out recently. Have an amazing amount of minifigures in them. Yeah, the Barracuda base ship is great, but that is much more than $20 or $30, people. It's undoubtedly a great set. So I'm gonna see if yeah, I think it's the big 400 piece Lego classic box for $30 at Target. That's a great one. JMW Music, great idea. If you're looking to experiment with maybe building your own things, you could absolutely do that with this. So this is, yeah, so this is definitely the thing we're looking at here. The thing we're looking at. And I'm going to see if I can't copy this. And then I'll be able to paste it into the next window when it comes up so that we take. So why don't we go ahead and move to here, and we'll be able to see the very exciting close-up build. And actually, I'll go ahead and move it to, is it this one? Yeah, there we go. See, I'm still learning all this stuff. Hey, Batmobile, how's it going? Oh yeah, Stud Sidious, the baby Voldemort figure was the reason to buy that particular thing. So you can see that it's still kind of, it's in chunks. I know this is so sad. I am doing all right. Got my tea here, Batmobile. Hope that you're doing okay too. Maybe I already said that. I don't know. Without Richard here, I can't keep track. I have zero idea what's going on. So, anyway, I'm gonna just, like, pull some of these things out. Now, I know those of you who are really into Lego pieces are going to be, and especially like vintage Lego models and stuff, are going to be horrified by the fact that a lot of this is made up with these 1x2 sand green bricks with a groove in the middle. And I know for a fact that these are like from, I believe, the Green Grocer, and they're really hard to get, right? So I built this back when we first started collecting, and we had a ton of these in a bulk buy that we got. And I didn't know any better. I didn't know any different. So I was just at the time I was just desperate to find whatever possible sand green pieces that we had so that I could get them get them on here. Yeah, it looks like, let's see, I think we had a little bit of movement. And see, we've been playing D&D, and so things get moved around a bit, and Logan runs around and things get moved. So let's see. Top 3 CMFs. Now, are you talking about like the minifigures themselves or the actual series of minifigures? Now, thankfully, most of my little furniture pieces is still are still together. Check it out. I got my mirror, and I just want you to know this. I was so thrilled that I had this reflective tile that I wasn't even like upset at the time. I mean, I was a little. My OCD was like, the sticker's crooked. It's driving me crazy, but it gave a great effect, and really, it kind of added to the whole sort of kookiness of the thing. Oh, here's a chair. This was one of the first pieces of furniture that I ever made. This little chair. I wanted a nice, like, sort of easy chair looking thing, and it's not perfect certainly, but it works. It functions as a chair. And, you know, one of the great things about having a MOC this long is that you can find ways to improve it and do, you know, fix things up as you go. Definitely a lot of people have asked me for instructions for this MOC, which would be really, really cool. But let's see. I would love to do that, but there are a couple of fiddly things about it that I would need to fix before I'd be able to make instructions for this. But after you see me put it together, you might think like, oh well, that's super easy. I could totally do that. And a lot of it is pretty easy. Like I said, I was just kind of building for the first time, so a lot of it was just me kind of like spinning on what I knew of Alice in Wonderland and like all of my experiences with it through, you know, the Disney movies or the Disney movie and all that sort of business. So it looks like I've got pieces of like my tea cart is here, kind of shattered. Look, here's Dinah is here. I'm gonna try and divide up all of the these sort of like little bits and bobs. The flowers, yeah, my whole landscaping at the top completely fell apart. So there's like no plants on here after all. But you know, what are you gonna do? Yep, here's more of the landscaping. This is why I highly suggest, if you don't already do it, and Richard is a big proponent of this, take pictures of your stuff before you take it anywhere so that you have reference photos, because believe me, this is borne out to be true on more than one occasion for us. We had that issue with for Snake Queen, we had to take the whole thing apart and put it back together again. So we absolutely did a lot of that kind of thing. Like, we had a lot of reference photos that we had to use, stuff like that. So these are all the pieces that I used for the wall. So really, what I was going for here was it was really based on the scene from the Disney and also from the book, but in particular the Disney movie, because it's such a visually amazing scene. Is when Alice is falling down the rabbit hole, and then there's like all the furniture on the sides of her, and you know, as she goes down and everything is kind of kooky. I don't know. I just really love that. It's always been a scene that I found really, really fabulous. I just really always liked it. So, all right. So it looks like here, and you can tell again that that this was made back before we had a lot of bricks. So, hey, Sarah Star Bricks, very good. Yes, the Alice minifigure is really good. Hey, PD Bricks Films, Ingrid. Richard is working in the other room. He's got work today, so he is going to be doing that. while on the stream today. So I'm afraid you're stuck with me, but I think that we'll have a good time here together today. So um, again, thankfully I have photos to go by. And this is like my little tea cart. It's got, and I'm gonna move actually to this closer up build. Here we go, so you can kind of see a little bit better. So there's my little tea cart with my teapot, and I added some extra flowers and stuff on it. I did a little jar of strawberry jam. There's a pie under there that you can see when you're looking at it from the side. And then I wanted to do this thing with cookies, so I did a plate of cookies. And this is what I'm talking about. One of the kind of like um, fiddly fiddly things about this model is there's this tea cart that has cookies, and I have this little like plate full of cookies here. But the cart itself is on a diagonal on the model, right, like that. So it makes it a little bit difficult. So when it tips over, the little cookies want to fall out, and you kind of have to put them in there. But oh, thanks. Yes, I'm glad you like the floor. I will, and I'm about to show that now. I've just finished kind of dividing my thing up into chunks, and here you can see again, early building. We didn't have that many bricks, and I had this brick with a sticker on it. I think it's from an Indiana Jones set, but I didn't want to use it. So, oh, sorry. Yes, she is here. Here, she can be here. How about that? There. All right. Yeah, we wouldn't want to deny her star quality thing. So, let's see. Yes, you could use Fun Tack would totally work. If you're like me, because I'm lazy, I will just go and like put them on it and then like quickly walk away. All right. So PD Brick Films. Yes, I did receive your entry for the contest. It's the first and only one we've gotten so far. And thanks for reminding me while we're talking about the contest. We are doing a build contest here on the live stream where we're going to be giving away this pre-built Batman '89 limited edition set here. Oh, actually, here we'll do this one a little bit better. There, you can see the car. All right, this Batman '89. People are building superhero MOCs, so their own creation, their own model of a superhero. And the superhero can be any one or anything you want. Hey, Kyle Films, how is it going? So feel free to do whatever you want. All the rules are in the description of this video and all the videos we've done for the past couple days. So if you scroll down, you'll see the rules. If you have any questions, you can feel free to email me or anything like that. So, all right. So we're gonna head back over to the build here, and I want to show you. So again, this was all going off of my love of Alice in Wonderland, and wow, yeah, you can tell this is old because these are dirty. Wow. Yeah, there's gonna have to give this a little bit of a wipe down, but yeah, you can see that I scrounged so many white tiles, like almost all the white tiles that we had at the time, and I was just learning some techniques, and I was like looking around the web. And this is where oh wow, and you can see there's a really discolored white brick right there, like super, super discolored. I think I'm gonna have to go in there and replace that. See, that's just the nice thing about redoing MOCs. You can do things like that. Anyway, so one of the things I had looked at was how to do doors. How to do doors. And I had seen this method done with snot pieces and tiles and a jumper plate. And that's another one of the things that I love from the Disney movie is the tiny little door. And then it talks in the movie. But I wanted like a little homage to that. Now, you can see I was not too skillful at the time. There's actually like a gap above the door that I would love to go back and fix. And now that I know a little bit more about Lego math, I could probably go back and do that kind of thing. But I'm just gonna show you how I did this It's actually not that hard. So I started off with 2 jumper plates here in the back, so that their studs are sort of in the middle here, right? Then I used 2 headlight bricks. Now these are snot bricks, but we call them headlight bricks because they have this sort of little indentation in them, like the stud is set back a little bit. All right, and I used those. I put those face front down onto those jumper plates there. So now I have something that looks like this. I'm getting there. There. I'm gonna put something there so I remember exactly where center is. So I've got my 2. Then SNOT, JMW Music, SNOT stands for studs not on top, even though it's a little bit of a misnomer because there are studs on the top. But what we're dealing with right now are the studs that are on the front. Okay. So I put a tile here in this one, and then I put a jumper plate in this one, like this, to sort of be the door handle. So now it looks like that there's a little knob there. And when you're building really tiny, sometimes you have to do that, okay? Elaborate more. Donnie Herbert, how's it going? Let's see. Hey, Brick Trooper, can you elaborate on the statement about knowing more about Lego math? Sure. There's a lot of math involved in Lego, and I honestly, like, I don't know most of it. I just know, like, the things that I know. And one of the things is when you're building with snot pieces or studs not on top, when you're building with studs not on top pieces like this, you've got, here, I'll hold this up. There, you can see I've got these 2 studs right there facing me. Now, if I wanted to, let's say I wanted to continue building like this, and I wanted to put another snot piece up here so that I could maybe attach like a plate onto it, and I want it to be able to be in system with these studs all the way up the front. Well, you can't just stack snot pieces on top of each other. They will not be in system if you just stack them on top of each other. So what you have to do is there's some math involved. So the numbers that you have to remember is either 2 plates, which means I could do a snot piece, 2 plates, and then another snot piece. And if I do that, then the outward facing studs will be in system. The other one I can do is, I think it's 2 bricks and a plate. 2 bricks and a plate, and then another snot piece, and they will be in system. The other option is every 5th brick. So I could do, like, if you're dealing with long things, I could do snot brick, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 plain bricks, and then the 5th brick would be another snot brick. And that would get me back in system to be able to put plates on the front. Okay? So that's some Lego math. There's way much more. There's way, way, way more. We could do a super deep dive into Lego math at some point. Not today, however, because I am like the least math person in the family here. Richard is really kind of more the math guy. So I sort of leave that to him. But there are things that I do know. So, all right, let's see. Oh, and Josh says, yes, that's another thing to know. A 1x1 brick is 2.5 plates wide and 3 plates high. That is a really good, the 2.5 wide, we'll go into that on another stream, because that's definitely something that we can talk about, and how to use brackets and stuff like that. All right, I'm going to switch back over to my above view. I showed you how I did the little door, and, you know, I got to say, this discolored white brick is bugging the crap out of me, and I'm going to have to replace it, or else it will drive me nuts. But I don't know where my... Oh, I see my white 1x2s. Give me 1 second. I'm going to go grab one of these. Okay, so a lot of mock building is really about fiddling around with pieces and getting them to work the way that you want them to. So I knew that I wanted this door here to have a rounded top just because I love rounded door tops and I think it breaks the square of Lego a little bit. Um, are we going to do any Powerpuff Girls sets? I'd love to do some Powerpuff Girls sets. I'm a big Powerpuff Girls fan. Unfortunately, we don't have any. Um, we don't have any Powerpuff Girls sets, so I won't be putting. We won't be putting those together anytime soon, unless they like magically appear on the table. In which case, we could build them, but right now, not so much. Favorite Harry Potter minifig. My favorite Harry Potter minifig is probably Dolores Umbridge, absolute favorite. And Richard's is the Snape that has the glow in the dark face. Yes, Galagade, we got a new Sigfig profile picture. Thank you. I'm so glad that you like it. We're pretty fond of it too. It's Kevin Hinkle. He's really great. Yeah, Powerpuff Girls figs. I've got the ones from. Thank you, Drew. You are pretty magical, I have to say. Okay, so sorry, real quick. I want to get back to this. So I wanted this to have a rounded top, and you can see from here that my tiles are sort of. Do you see how that there's a? I know that we took the autofocus off of this, so I apologize, but oh, there we go. Okay, so you see how my tiles are placed basically right where a stud is, so like in between a stud. And as it turns out, these arch pieces, if you use these, have a groove in them that stuff can fit in. And so I just put that on top, and I was lucky enough to have it fit, and those tiles just fit up inside of that groove. All right? Brick Show, I will definitely let Richard know that you're going to put your build up on your YouTube channel. Definitely send us a link to that. And remember, please take a photo of it, though, and send it in as well. Oh, you're downloading YouTube on your Switch. Very nice. You and your friend are working on a Gotham City mock for the first part of the project is the Joker Funland. Very cool. That Joker Funland set is amazing. Yeah, it is from Kevin Hinkle. It's incredible. We love it so much. And I actually have a bigger version of it that I can show you, but I'll have to do that same sort of like weird thing that I did before with the Alice photo where I had to sort of like add it in while you're watching, which is like super tacky and I'm sorry. Apologies. All right, so I've got my floor. I showed you how I did my little doorway there. And I have to, it's funny because like I have to reference my photos to see what exactly is going on here. And what is weird here is I didn't actually, so you can see that I put this 1 by black plate here when technically it should have been white to match these. But what happened was when I put a white one there, you'll see that a white brick goes in the middle here, and it made a really funny, weird shape that I did not like the look of it at all. Like there was too much white around that whole area. It kind of looked like a weird castle thing, and I thought it kind of messed up the checkerboardness of it, so that's why I added that on there. We have a ticket booth made that looks really cool. Very nice, very nice. Okay, so then I started building up my walls, and it looks like, if I look at them, at the pictures here, that my walls are actually are too thick, like 2 bricks thick. And I wanted to do, and again, I had just kind of started with the whole Lego thing, so I didn't really know what I was doing, but I knew I wanted to have some kind of architectural detail along the top, just so that it wouldn't be a flat, boring surface. So I used more snot pieces along this row, and then I alternated these little triangle cheese wedges and these 1 by 1 round plates. Wow, these are so dirty. I really need to redo this. So that I would get that, I believe it's called an egg and dart pattern. I could be wrong. Richard knows all that fancy art stuff. All right. then I knew that I wanted, because, the whole thing with Alice in Wonderland and checkerboards and the whole thing, I wanted to do, not only did I want to do the floor in black and white checkerboard, I wanted to do the walls in black and white checkerboard also. So there would really be a difference between that bottom room and the top room, where I was going to have this sort of more, traditional English drawing room, style thing. So it looks like I've got my pieces here, and you can see that I used, if I hold this up, you can probably see that I used the textured bricks for this, the kind that have the little lines on them, right? And I was actually very careful, because I'm that way, to make all of the black bricks have horizontal grooves and all the white bricks had vertical grooves, just because it added even more to the kookiness of the black and white room, right? Like, there's always like a little bit of difference there. Let's see here. I think we have found the pieces of the wall. So I'm going to put this wall back together, and I'll show you that also along the top of the wall, to make the dividing area, I wanted to have like a room, like a baseboard. So once again, I used the snot pieces, and this time I attached tiles. Okay. If anybody has any questions or comments, please feel free to chime on in. So I'm going to attach that on here, and now you can see I've attached my whole piece on, and I've got my little door there. Now, one of the very first things, thanks, Shane, I appreciate that. So one of the things from, one of the things that I learned from the internet when I was first looking at MOCs was I was really impressed at how people always had these sort of like decorative bases. So instead of just having a flat plate, they would have a flat plate with stuff sandwiched in between so that they could decorate it. And this one, again, super simple. I just sandwiched snot pieces in between my black plates, and then continued that checkerboard pattern. So, and this shows you that I did not have a lot of bricks, and we were just going for, there was a display side. So this side of it is completely flat, but the side that you look at has tiles on it. Now, if I was building this today, I would probably go back in and make it the tiled all the way around. But we were short on bricks. We were young builders then. I don't know, young, maybe overstating it. All right, let's see. So I'm going to continue on. I believe that these two. Now, this is another thing. I used a lot of these little, I call them like columns, like little column pieces. I think they're like 5 bricks high. Because I didn't have a lot of anything else, and I needed something. And when you need something to just like fill up an area, that's a really good way to do it, right? And clearly I'm missing some pieces here because I did have black and white. Here we go. This goes here. See, again, if you don't see it, it doesn't matter. Especially when you're talking about like making things for a photograph. If you don't see it, it doesn't matter. This isn't finished, right? I've got like the backs of snot pieces here. The Cheshire hand, absolutely. There she is. Right? Doesn't matter if you're not going to see it in a photograph. Don't worry about all of that business if you don't have to, is sort of my motto. All right, so it looks like now I'm going to have to go ahead and rebuild this outer wall, because I've got this outer wall here. Unfortunately, since it's a checkerboard pattern, it should be pretty easy to reconstruct. Now, I know for a fact that when we got back from Bricks Cascade, I saw that there were some of these little brick pieces missing. So I have a feeling I'm going to probably have to dig some of these pieces out of our system, which is totally fine. I can do that, not a problem. We have plenty. But if I'm gonna want to, yeah. So if I want to reconstruct this whole, if I want to reconstruct this whole wall, so I'm gonna have to, yeah. Don't worry about all that biz. Did I really say that? Did I say biz? Wow. Okay, let's see. So how many bricks time? I've got a reference photo up here. So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks high. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a 6th brick. And again, like making sure that I have kept all of these going the right way. And I'm looking at them now, and I can see that some of them got turned around. Yeah, man, there was a bunch of times where I was like turning columns around back and forth, and oh my goodness, it was. Oh, you paraphrased. Okay, I'm gonna say biz doesn't sound like a word I would use, but you know what? I get to talking on this thing, and I just blah 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 blah, and I'm sure I say all kind of really stupid things. So let's see. It looks like okay. So what it's looking like now is that I made an option, and it was probably for some design reason at the time, to have the lower brick of the stack be a flat brick, and the rest of them be grooved. And it's also highly possible that I did that because we didn't have enough textured bricks at the time. But knowing me, I think that was probably there was probably a design reason behind that. So anyway, sorry, I apologize, y'all. I didn't even ask. Hopefully, this isn't like dreadfully boring for you, like just hearing me yammer on about process. Sorry, but yeah. Let's see. See, this is where you get into all the like. I'm flipping them around to make sure all of the pieces are going the right way. All right. So now I've got my thing. All right, bye Galagade. Thanks for joining in. You got to go stream Trolls 2 before bed. Have fun. Thank you so much for joining us. Thanks, Chris Barron. Awesome. Jake Potter. Great. Thank you, Shane. Going into teacher mode. It's true. All right. So I'm just going to go ahead and continue building up. Fortunately, I still again have these chunks that are pre-built that I can dip into. Let's see. Now some of these are coming apart, and I'm going to have to rebuild a couple of these columns. I can tell already because I'm completely out. But you know what? That's what this is for, right? We are rebuilding things. Rebuilding is okay. Okay. There, and you can see now that I think I've got all my grooves going the right way. I got my groove on. Hey, Fuzzy Brick Studios. Today I am rebuilding my Alice in Wonderland MOC that I made not too long ago, or actually not too long ago. What am I saying? 4 years ago when I first started this this crazy hobby. Richard and I were making our own stuff, and I can show you. There's a picture of it. That's what we're working on today. And let me see over there. Yes, that's what we're working on today. And I took it to Bricks Cascade. It fell apart. You're working on the mock contest right now. Very good. Excellent. Good to hear. All right, so I'm just going to continue on yammering about my process here. So it looks like I've got one last column here. Wow, maybe I did retain all the bricks. Although, golly, it sure seems like I'm missing some of the textured ones, because there's extras here. Have you ever done that? Have you ever put a mock back together, and then there's like extra pieces left over? You're like, where did this possibly come from? I don't understand what I could have done. All right, so I can see sort of like puzzle piecing this together. I can see where where some of these pieces supposedly should go. But golly, this looks very strange. It looks like there's oh, that's right. I forgot about that. This is actually I bet you this goes here. Yeah, putting these things back together, it really is like a puzzle. I have a Micropolis that I could put back together for you if you find this exciting. That, man, it got like super crunched. It was yeah, it got crunched on our way to Bricks Cascade and on the way back from Bricks Cascade, which was kind of a bummer. But I mean, not Bricks Cascade's fault. It was actually on the way in. It was wait, who screwed up our thing on the way in, honey? Oh, I don't remember. It was the people who check your bags. Them. They opened our bag and literally it seemed like they just like grabbed it and like crushed it. Yeah, you gotta oh, and had to repair it. Yeah, I'm telling you, you gotta you have to be able to you gotta take reference photos. It's super important. Um, okay, so I am obviously like I'm a big fan of detail, and I wanted to include some details into this. Now, here we go. It looks like that goes there. All right. Yes, I have managed to successfully puzzle piece back together this lower floor. All right. And you can see where I've already put in here. Now I like putting in detail. I'm also a fan of detail that's kind of already there. So I really love these pieces. These sort of like little columns that already have like a square on the bottom and then they're round on the way up. And I'm going to start working on the these areas. Now, like I said, there's a lot of put and take that goes on with MOC building, and you can see here, and I remember this clearly, that I spent a while. I'm going to let her point it out. I spent a while with this sort of like snot piece, or it's actually a headlight brick with the round stud on it, and whether I should put it down here right next to the baseboard or whether it should be a brick up. And I finally did end up putting it a brick up because I felt like that. I just felt like it looked better. It was just more interesting that way. All right, so it looks like I've got this going on here, and I think there's one here that doesn't have any things on it. This, and this also made it easier for me to be able to do that. Okay. Hey, David Lego Lab, how's it going? Yes, the room is hypnotizing. So now I've put on this outside. Piece. Okay, and it looks like from the picture that I've got 3 sets of the double going up. So it's like this. And then I have, oh, you can see this on the front camera now. So if you look in the picture, you can see that I've got 3 sets of the headlight brick between the 2 bricks here. And then it looks like I ended on a round, yeah. It looks like I ended on like one of those little 1x1 round bricks. Huh, I'm taking things apart. I'll have to put them back together. That's okay. So, did that there. And I'm going to do the same thing on the other side now, just making sure that I've got all of my pieces. So it's always going to be a brick, a 1x1 brick, a headlight brick, and then a column. So I know that I can go, keep with my pattern, brick, headlight brick, a column, right? Brick, headlight brick, column. Oh, I don't want that anymore. All right, there we go. And like the other side, I finished this off with a brick, and then for some reason, probably because I thought it looked better, I ended it with yeah, brick 1x2x5. Okay, so there these 2 antennas, right? So there's my two things here. Now, I knew, since this is a corner presentation room, I knew I wasn't going to be able to do the headlight bricks on the side, so I just opted to do um, a plain column in between. And I believe, let me see here. I believe I probably would have done like that, right? And then I probably did, wow, it's really hard to tell from the pictures, but I'm thinking I probably did a plain 1x1 brick, then a column, and then what I would have done is I would have done three more 1x1 or two 1x1 bricks. Now I don't see any 1x1 bricks here, which is kind of a bummer. I don't know what would have happened to them, but I see one. so this is what happens when you got to put things back together. Sometimes, you know, you miss out on some stuff. So that's a brick. Now, fortunately, I know that I just put some 1x1 bricks. Oh, wait, here's one. One, two, another one. And then it looks like I probably did. Wow, it's really hard to tell. Oh, you know what? Funny enough, it looks like from the picture that on top of this, I put one brick and then a round brick. And I'm going to guess, again, that was, yes, the Taker Waker stole my bricks while I was sleeping. It is absolutely true. It happens all the time. She is so like that. It looks like I used a round brick, which is probably to because I didn't have the other kind. On Lego Life, Prince Mechanical Candy. That is the best name ever, and I am so jealous, Drew, that you have that name. Mine is like something really stupid. I'm really bummed about my name on Lego Life. I can't remember what it is now, but it wasn't awesome, and not as good as that one. I know, Mark, right? Taker Waker. She was more trouble than she was worth, I'm just going to say. All right, I'm going to grab a couple of these brown 1x1 bricks. And I think that this will hopefully make an improvement on the design a little bit. But you never know. All right, so I'm going to go for 1, 2. Oh, and it looks like I'm going to have to do one more. Sorry, everyone. Here we go. All right, and now we should be all even Steven at the top, and we will finish this off with a barrel, or that's what we call them, barrel, so that it all looks good together. Okay, there we go. So actually, yeah, this seems to be this view seems to be working out quite well now that we're getting sort of to the upper parts of the model, and I can show you. Maybe that went there. I can show you more about that. All right, so there we've got our lower floor. Right, we've got our walls, and oh hey Jason, thank you so much, everyone. And I'm going to say, if you're new and you haven't heard, we are having a build contest right now. What we're running, we're going to be giving away the Batman '89 Batmobile limited edition gift with purchase model. It's pretty cool. So we are having a superhero building contest that's going all week, and the entries are due on noon on Thursday. You can get all of the information down in the description of this. All the information that you need, where to post your pictures, what the rules are, and all that kind of good stuff. And then we will announce a winner, and then we'll be sending out that model, which is really cool. One thing is, though, if you want to enter, you must be subscribed to this channel. So please hit that subscribe button. We're trying to get up to 1,000 subscribers. We've got, like, I think we're pulling in close to like 750-ish, something like that. So if you know anybody that'd be interested or interested in our stream, please let them know about it, see what's going on, and hopefully they can subscribe. It sounds like Somebody, sounds like Logan was having a little.
I pushed my desk chair back, and he was looking for squirrels.
Oh,
So
I
that
see. He
actually
was on a squirrel
points
hunt.
out, you know what time it is?
Is it that time already?
It is. I think it is.
Jackson, my favorite build that I've ever made would have been our Treasure of the Snake
We'll go on
Queen
this side.
build, and it's on our YouTube page, and if you're subscribed to our channel, it should be the first thing that you see when you come to our channel. It's a video about 2.5 minutes long. It's a mechanical fairy tale model. It was really, it was definitely my favorite thing that we've made, for sure.
Well, I'm gonna go back in there and sit down and dive into those classes again.
Okay.
But let's have Logan cookie time.
Oh, all right. Okay, I think it is, in fact, Logan cookie time. So, and I'm sorry that we haven't made a Logan cookie time logo yet, but
Move the model.
oh, here you go.
Look, there he is.
There he is.
Hi.
There's Logan. He's very excited.
All right. Good boy. Good boy. He's such a good dog.
You're helping.
Oh. You got an editorial comment there.
Yeah, see, and now, this is what happens. Don't drink crackers without waters, kids.
All right. Well, you're making good progress on Alice.
Mm-hmm. Just gonna keep plugging along.
All right. Well, I'll see you in a while.
All right. We will definitely
Bye, everyone.
see you. All right, so you can see, and again, yes, we were at Bricks LA, Jake Animation Studios. We were there. That was super fun. We brought that model, the Treasure of the Snake Queen model, to Bricks LA 2 years ago, and then we did. What did we bring? And then we brought something this year as well. But we love Bricks LA. Bricks LA is super fun. So now you can see this is super simple. Like, and there was no other way to do this. And this is what I'm talking about. Some of the flimsier parts of this model. This model was definitely made to sit on a shelf. It was not meant to be played with, really. So really, you can see that these are just stacks. Oops, these are just stacks of 1x2s, 1x1s. Because again, we were first building, and I was scrounging for everything that I could possibly get. And then we used some of those taller column pieces. All right. Now and again, I scrounge for these. I want to show you what I've got now. So I collect certain colors, and sand green. I mean, I collect all colors, but sand green is definitely one that maintains its own area. So this is our sand green area. All right, Shane, thanks for joining us. Sorry you have to go to a meeting, but we will see you again. You have a good rest of your Monday too. But yeah, so I have a lot more sand green pieces now. So maybe I can, replace some of these crappier pieces. Like these. There's no reason for this to be two 1x1s together. That can be a 1x2, and I could probably replace it. Some pieces with some of these, these column pieces again. Yeah. So, all right. Let's see. All right. So I've got this, and let me see here just a second. All right. I'm going to go ahead and replace some of these just because, and it looks like, now I'm not positive of this, but it looks like on my, oh yeah, okay, here we go. Here's a really good example of just using what you have, all right? You can see here that I actually had to use a couple of slopes because I didn't have, 1x2s to do it in. So I'm gonna do that now. I'm gonna take those off, and I'm gonna replace it with two 1x2s. That's so embarrassing. I can't even believe that. But yeah, so this is again flimsy. Not the greatest when it comes to sturdiness with this model. Sorry, everyone, to blow any illusions that you may have had that we were some kind of brilliant um, technical wizards that could make stuff that stayed together. Okay, so let's see. I've got so it looks like we've got this here, and then now this was something, y'all, that I messed around with a lot, was the placement of this furniture. So you can see I've got my little clock model here, and I think this looks like it's about right. So I want to show you. So this is one of the things that I always get is about the floating furniture. So let's see. So here's my little clock, all right? And I'm going to go ahead and switch to the overhead view so I can show you about the clock. Hey Ingrid, welcome back. Yes, we've all been there using slope pieces. It's so weird. All right, so here is the clock that I made, and I actually recently speaking of upgrading MOCs, I recently changed this from. This used to be the standard clock face. If you look in the photo, you can see that the standard clock face is on there, and I replaced it with the sort of more oldie-timey clock face from the, I believe the Hidden Side High School was the first one to have this. I could be completely wrong. I'm sure someone will correct me if I am, but that little piece, and I think it, to me, it changed a lot of the look of this piece, and I was really excited about that. So, and I really messed around for a while figuring out how I was going to do all this. So I'm going to flip this over and show you. I built in a TrickyBrick with a single hole into the back. Oh, gosh, I still can't get that down. Yep, there you go. Right? And then I built up on the wall with bricks, and I remember specifically, you can see that there's two kinds of TrickyBrick with hole. There's a 1x2 that has a single hole, and a 1x2 that has two holes. Well, I tried it in a single hole, but then I didn't like the angle. I mean, this is how detailed I get. I didn't like the angle that it was turned at, so I opted for the one that was with the two holes so that I could just, you'd be surprised when you're working this small, getting something over even just a stud's worth makes a really big difference. So I used a black Technic pin, which is the kind that have friction, right? I snapped that on the back, and then I attached it onto, here, I'll put this down here so you can see it. And then I attached it onto the wall here. And because I used a friction full peg, I knew that I would be able to tilt that clock to whatever angle I wanted, and that when I stood it up, it was gonna keep that position. Cool. So that's how I did that part. And I'm gonna keep on. So there, you can see my little tilty clock. And let's see, it looks like a little further up from here, I have my T-cart. Now, here, this is a place where it gets really squirrely, y'all. Like, this is a really squirrely part of, and this is why I was saying if I ever did instructions that I would have to really kind of look at redesigning things, because I didn't have a great solution for this. So I'm going to, just for now, we'll come back to this, but just for now, I'm going to go ahead and put in the piece there. Now, I don't know if, that looks awfully low to me. I think this might go up a little bit higher. We may have to come back and revisit the height of this, of the placement of this brick. But again, that's what this is what all this mock making is all about. Like you are constantly just trying things out. Does this work? No. Does this work? Yes. Okay, well, I guess we'll do this then. All right, so I'm going to add in some more of those. Let me see if I have any more of these, like, tall sand green columns. Doesn't look like I do. I have single ones, but not a double one. So I'm just going to get back to it and build up these sand green columns until they're the height that we want. And then the same thing here on the back end. And it looks like I actually, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it looks like I actually made this 3 wide instead of just the 2 to help cover the corner, because you're not going to be able to see the corner once you get into it. Right? Okay, let's see, what else have I done here? Well, maybe we'll come back to finishing to build this corner up, because that's really not as important as what's going to happen here. Because now we're about to get more furniture. More furniture. So I'm going to go ahead and build up my outside column, because I can see that my outside column doesn't have any furniture on it. So I'm just going to go ahead and build that up. And now it looks like here we have our first thing that's like mounted into, oh yeah, look, I found more of those the slopes. It looks like I have my writing desk. Oh, look at that. Wow, it's really hard to tell where that is. I mean, I know how I did it. Oh, I see. So it looks like I kind of you can make a brick-built square plate, one 4x4 plate with cheese slopes all around, or that would be too big. I'm not sure. Is Mark the Mark from Lego Masters? Yes, yes it is. That is, in fact, Mark from Lego Masters. Now, it looks like before that I may have utilized a 1x1 brick, but I think I improved on this because I didn't like the way that it was looking. And this actually goes over here. Nope, I'm going to build up looks like I'm going to build up my green, y'all. I'm going to build up my green stripe. And actually, I think I was wrong before. It looks like that, whoops, those grooved bricks to the back. It looks like I repositioned, when I redid this for Bricks Cascade, that I repositioned where this was. So I'm going to say that that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bricks up approximately. It looks like 6 bricks up. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then on my 6th brick, I'm going to add in this. Now, I don't know if you can see this. So this is a Technic brick with an axle hole in it. I'll put my finger so you can see it. Right? It's got like a plus shape. And then what I did was I took one of these wrenches, right? And I put the wrench in that axle hole, and it holds it nice and tight. Right? Holds it nice and tight. And then what I did was then I constructed my little table. So I knew I was going to have some way of holding it all on. So I did a, oh, right, and I knew I wanted to have the lamp on there. So what I did was, I can show you kind of what I did here. This is a 1x2. You want to see the whole thing? Shall I just put the whole thing back together? Hey, Nick Sweetman is here. How's it going? How's it going? Good to see ya. If you want, I'll just show you kind of like how I put this together. It actually is not that difficult. So I took a 2x2 round plate. I added a 1x2 plate with a bar sticking off the back of it here. Then I added a jumper plate so that I would have a place to put the lamp. Then I added a 1x2 plate, and I added a tile just so that I could have a blank spot, with nothing on it. And then I added a 1x1 square stud. So that way I could put my oldie-timey letter on the table, right? Thanks, Nick. And then I wanted a little base for it. So I used a dark red cone and the brown round as the bottom, just so that it wasn't all brown. Like, I felt like there was already so much brown that I wanted to do anything to be able to have some variety. Then the lamp was super simple. It's just a gold telescope for the base and one of those round domes as a lamp, all right? And I think that I would probably go back. Oh, thanks, Will. Got to get back to work. Appreciate it. Glad you enjoyed it. Have a good one. We'll see you tomorrow or the next day. All right. So I put the lamp here. Got my letter here. Now, see, at the time I didn't really know what I was doing, and now I would probably take and put a gold 1x1 round flat gold tile on the top of this, just to finish it off, because I really like things to look finished. So I'm gonna grab my box of gold things, right? Awesome box of gold things, and I'm gonna quickly see if I can't dig out. Now, of course, I'm looking for a 1x1 round gold tile in a giant box of gold things. So we'll see if anything actually comes of this. Oh, look at that. Yes, there's one right there. All right. See, improvements. And then I can just put that little gold right on the top. And the funny thing is, now that I look at this, I don't like it, which is probably why I didn't do it in the first place. So we're just going to go ahead and see again. This kind of goes to show you just like what, the decisions that you make matter. And you may try something and decide you don't like it, which is what made it so hard on Lego Masters, because you don't really have that like option to kind of go back and fix something. I mean, you do, but then you're losing time. All right, so I've got that bar on the back of my table. I've got that wrench sticking out, and I know that bar is going to fit right in that wrench. And because that wrench is in the that axle hole, I can move this all the way over. It does stop looking like Lego if you cover all of the studs. It's true, and actually that's like a thing that some people are really into. I actually belong to a group called No Studs Visible or something like that. Okay, and now because it's on there, I can actually tilt this, and I even have some upward and downward motion with it, so it doesn't have to remain flat. I can have it slightly at an angle. So when you see it, it looks like this from the front. See that? All right, so that's how I did that. Okay. All right, so I'm going to switch back over here now. And I'm going to keep building. So it looks like I don't have anything else to do with this particular outside stripe. And now it looks like I'm going to add on my chair. Now I'm going to show you something I struggled with this. This one was really hard because I couldn't, and I'll show you why. I couldn't do, because this could only be one because this could only be 1 brick thick, I couldn't use um, the TrickyBrick trick that I used before. That wasn't going to work. So what I ended up coming up with was using a snot piece on the outside, and then that snot piece fits right into a TrickyBrick with a hole, fortunately very tightly, so that I was able to then kind of give it the whatever give that I needed it to have. Now, what I don't see around here is the piece that actually has the hole in it that I used. Let's see. I don't see the piece that has a hole in it that I used. So I may have to fish something out of our collection again. See, like this, and I'm not joking, y'all. Like this thing was completely shattered when it came back from Bricks Cascade. So I'm gonna guess that. So because of the angle that this is at, you can see that I've got my snot piece in here, and I'm gonna want that. I want that chair to be kind of close. So I have a feeling that what I ended up doing was having a 1x1 brick with a hole in it, is what I'm thinking. And that is something that I'm definitely gonna have to dig out of our collection. So I will put this here, and I'm going to transition back over to this. So that way, y'all can look at the MOC while I go and try and fish out this piece. Now, fortunately, we have a whole box, and yes, Moto, it is labeled. These are our 1x1 and 1x2 TrickyBricks. Or actually, these are, 1x1 and 1x2 TrickyBricks. So, I think that because I'm using, because the chair will probably cover it up, I can, Okay, so I want everybody to check this out. I've got my chair here. Here's my TrickyBrick with hole, and I can fit that TrickyBrick with hole right onto that snot piece, and it's now I have room, and because it's so tight, it's going to stay in whatever position I put it in. Right? So I'm going to put this back down. And then again, this will be a little bit of experimentation to see like how many bricks exactly did I put this up. Now to me, that looks about right to the photo, right? So I'm going to go ahead and attach that into my wall. And then it looks like according to the photo, not too far above that is where Alice is floating. So you can see that she looks like she's falling down, and if you look close, if you look really close at the picture, you can see kind of, I don't know if you can see my mouse or not, but she is actually sticking off the background, like with a couple of whites. I don't think you can see my mouse, but that's okay. She's sticking off with a couple of 1x1 square plates. And you can see here that I already have the pieces still together. So what I did was I used a column with a 1x1 brick snot piece. Looks like I ended up taking 3 1x1 squares, which means, of course, I could have used a brick, but for whatever reason, I decided to use squares. And because it's sitting on there, I have the freedom to turn that. All right. So I'm going to put that there behind the chair. And again, I went to a lot of trouble, like taking and putting off bricks to get the characters and the furniture at exactly the height I wanted. So if you're working on something like this, just like be okay with taking things apart and putting them back together again. It's like the number one thing that you're gonna have to do if you're making MOCs is taking things apart and putting them back together again. It's just sort of MOC 101 a little bit. Wow, look at that perspective. All right, so there you can see that I put the bricks on, and there's those plates that are sticking out. All right, and then it looks like, and look at this, lucky me, my my mirror is already intact with its bricks on it and everything. And if you want to just like this one, I just really noodled around with until I got it. Of course, this is classic, using jumper plates as sort of like drawers or detail. I use some of these bars and clips to attach the bars with. I mean, I just sort of like noodled around until I got something that looked like it was kind of a carved wood. And then I used gold feet on it, again, just so that it wasn't quite so much brown. All right. And then it looks like I can do this. And I wouldn't suggest picking this up and laying it down like I keep doing, because it will absolutely fall apart. So let's see. Now I'm attaching this on. Now, to me, this looks like it's a little high, this piece of furniture. And I'm not sure, something got a little wonky somewhere or another, but it's easy enough to fix. But I'm going to go ahead and, see, these things pop off. This is not, again, a model that's meant to be laid down. This is meant to be built standing up, because the weight of the furniture will absolutely weigh the whole thing down, and it will come crashing down. All right, so we'll move to here. So now I can see already that this is a brick higher than it's supposed to be. But what I can do is I will position Alice, I'll position Alice where she needs to be, over in here, and I'll go ahead and put her on now. This, right, and you can see she's pretty much in position there. Now, what it's looking like to me is that the chair and the desk are both raised up a brick. So that's probably why why everything is one brick. So I'm going to go ahead and see. Here's one of the easy parts. I can just take this whole entire thing off and lower it by a brick. Huzzah! I can do the same thing over here, although it looks like with the writing desk one that I have, I've actually, I'm going to have to do a little bit of reconstructing. That's okay. I'll take this off and replace this with 4 bricks instead of 5. All right, there you go. I lowered everything by a brick, and I think it looks much more like the photo. Sometimes it takes a little while to get it all functioning properly. But there we go. There, I've got my furniture up. And now it's just going to be a matter of reconstructing those final wallpaper strips. What they basically are. Strips of wallpaper that run the length of the wall. All right. Hey, Legos for Life, how's it going? Oh, Brick Show, that's great. It has a villain and a superhero. Nice, very good. Hey, Adakin7, how's it going? Jason Seacrest, thank you so much. We are here, if you don't already know, working on reconstructing a MOC that I made back when we first started building Lego about 4 years ago, I guess. Now, trying to remember here how exactly I did this. This is the puzzle part. This is where you try to figure out how did I construct all of that to go back together again. But I'm starting to see here that I used a lot of these columns and then these single columns to fill in, right? So I'm going to show that. So here's the back of it. It's super easy. I'm just building up here because I didn't know any better. Now, what I would do now if I were doing this is I would add some 1x3 bricks to help cover this corner and lock the whole thing together. But I don't want to go running away for parts again, although it looks like I'm going to have to. Anyway. And again, here I am left with, for some reason, leftover parts. I'm not sure how that happened. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Probably, I am gonna have to go after all and grab some pieces to help out with. Oh, it would be cool if the winner of the mock contest got to be on the live stream once you hit 1,000 subs. You know, Jake Animation Studios, that's not a bad idea. I think that's a really cool idea. So let's see if we can get those 1,000 subs so that we can get the winner a guest spot on the stream. I think that's a really cool idea. So I use one base plate, but I build another base plate under it. Is that allowed? It is allowed as long as it's within that 32 by 32 thing that we talked about. We want to have those. Everything should be 32 by 32 studs square at the bottom. If it sticks over a little bit on the top, that's fine. But for the bottom part, we're going to try and keep it like that. All right. It looks like... Wow, this is really just sort of like jacked together. I would absolutely do this a little bit differently were I building this now. Golly. I see. Yeah, Ninjago City is awesome. I love that model. It is one of my favorites, and I know it's one of Mark's favorites too. And if you get a chance, you should just make the time to go to Mark's Instagram and check it out. Speaking of Instagram, real quick, I'm just gonna say if you want to see more of our different stuff, we are on Instagram, and you can check us out on Instagram at TrickyBricks, right? And you can also email us if you have questions. You can email us at Flynn@TrickyBricks.com, and we'll be started reading some questions out on the show and answering them if we get people actually emailing us with questions. So please email us with questions. Or if you are old school and you like to send things through the mail, and you wanted to send a postcard or some fan art or a question or whatever through the mail, you can at our new P.O. Box. Flynn and Richard, P.O. Box 11517, Oakland, California 94611. So that is our P.O. Box if you want to send us anything through the regular mail. All right, so it looks like I have most of this done. Now I'm trying to see, it's really hard to tell sometimes in the photo if I've got, let's see. Yeah. Oh, Ingrid, are you taking off? I hope that you also have an awesome evening. Oh, that's our email again. There we go. Back over to here. So, bye, Ingrid. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll see you very soon, I expect. All right. Now, I see what I did here. I did, in fact, use a 1x3. I must have been feeling very excellent for bricks at this point. because I did actually lock this together, like I knew what I was doing. And you can see that I've gone ahead and I made the decision to raise a plate and then use these palisades bricks, or we call them logs, palisades bricks, along here. And then on the corner, I used an inverse slope so that I could start having my ground. So one of the things that I wanted to do with this is I wanted there to be a, oh, I see, this, whoops. I wanted there to be a difference in the three levels. So like we'd have this level, the bottom level, the falling in the sort of like English drawing room level, and then the ground level, where she actually fell down the rabbit hole. So I made the decision to do this sort of like finisher here on top, and I wanted it to finish out the room, right? Like I wanted it to look like, again, this like sort of English drawing room with the furniture. And now, thankfully, that piece has locked all of this stuff in together. I'll point this toward the screen like this. Okay. So that is all of my, looks like, golly, what is the rest of this madness? Whew. So now I started adding on the pieces that would end up being the ground, the ground level or what have you. And I wanted to show you that I made a decision to decorate the underneath side of the ground, almost like there were roots or other plants that you could see coming through the bottom. That was sort of a fun idea I had early on to do something like that. Now this, I am going to say that this had the barrel on it, and this has the, yes, puzzle piecing. I found the puzzle piece that goes here. This. All right, and now I've got my, I wonder what happens if I switch over to my, you can kind of see it. Yeah, look, there we go. There's the view from the top. And you can see that I added on some little bits and bobs over here. And I'm trying to remember where. Okay, I see the bug in the picture. So it looks like this piece. Oh my goodness. Oh, I see, because it couldn't be easy. This goes here. Like this, and then this piece, and here we go with our squeeze, don't press. I'm squeezing this plate on to kind of help hold all this together. And I'm going to cover this with green. I think maybe this, it was like this, or maybe it was an angle plate. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at that a little later and see what I've done up there. All right. So still pretty cool. All right. And again, I mean, we're rebuilding something that's already been built before, and it doesn't have to match. Let's see. Let's see. Here we go. Gamer HD, I watch your streams every day. Could you please subscribe to my channel and give me a shout out? Hi, Corona Gamer HD. It looks like you are also doing what we're doing and staying home and providing entertainment for people out there. So good on you for playing some games for us all to check out. Now it's looking at, yeah, so it's 11:38, and I think I am going to, even though there are still a bunch of pieces left that we need to look at and how we're going to finish this mock off, I think that I probably want to do, yes, I love the little bug. This is how I sort of like wanted to have that decoration on the top. And I'm going to turn it around back over to here again, so you can see, and tilt this down a little bit. You can start to see my ground cover. So I'm going to need to study, and also I need to take a look at some last little details that I want to show y'all. But I think it's best if we, well, I don't know, should we save the last bits for tomorrow, or should I just go ahead and finish this now? It's going to be coming up on it's going to end up a 2-hour stream, but I guess, I mean, that's okay, right? I'm going to show you real quick what one of the things that I did with the floor down here. And again, this is not lay down very easily. I had to go back in and retile, another thing of doing MOCs, and retile so that I could put a little jump plate in here. And that jump plate, which you can see here, is going to get around 1 by 1 clear, right? Okay, there is the base of the table. Then I used a stack. See, I'm missing pieces. That's the thing. I think actually, y'all, I want to finish this up tomorrow. Oh, everybody wants me to finish it. I will. Okay, we'll finish it up. No, you know what? I'm sorry, everyone. I have to figure out how to piece this. I have to figure out how to piece the dessert cart back together and finish the top. So what I will do is I will get this all ready for us to finish tomorrow, and then we'll move on to a new set after that, and we'll have something like that. But there's still a lot more like little fiddly bits and pieces that I mean, I just want to show you real quick. Like, I'm not quite sure how I ended up with this many extra pieces. Like all these sand green pieces. I mean, I know I replaced a few of them, but I didn't think I replaced that many. Anyway, we will finish up tomorrow, and I want to say thank you, and I'll show you what we've got left here, just so you can sort of check it out. This is what we got left, right? It's plants pieces. This doesn't even belong in this model. We've got our tea cart. We've got Dinah the cat. And we'll talk a little bit about the landscaping on the top of the MOC. But I just wanted to say thanks everybody so much for joining us today. And we were putting together a MOC putting back together a MOC that I did. Thank you very much. I didn't know they were called jumper plates until meeting other AFOLs. Now every time I see one, I think jumpa in my best Boston accent. It's a jumpa plate. Absolutely. Oh, awesome. We got a subscription. Thank you so much, Corona Gamer HD, for your subscription. We appreciate it. People subscribing. It is important to, just for like our upcoming support and stuff. And I also wanted to let people know that we are going to be starting a Patreon page very soon, just to sort of help cover the costs of getting us some faster internet and some time making some new graphics. And we've got our fantastic, amazing new little logo up there by Kevin Hinkle, which is incredible. And we're going to have t-shirts and stickers and stuff that we're going to be able to start selling and giving to some of our Patreon subscribers and stuff like that. All right, so I want to thank everybody so much for joining us today. If you have a chance, please join in on the build contest. We'd love to see what y'all have and what you can get up to. And I know that you're going to have some really, really cool stuff. So I want to see what everybody's building. We've got that Batman 89 limited edition that we're going to be giving away. You're going to be making a superhero build. All of the rules are below in the description of this video. Once again, if you want to find us on the Instagrams, we are at TrickyBricks on Instagram. All right. If you want to send us an email with a reader question that we could read on air, you can get us at Flynn at TrickyBricks.com. Yes, Bama Bricks, you definitely need a sticker for your pink bucket. I agree. And thank you, Reed Martinez. I will absolutely check my DMs. Thank you so much. And then if you are a fan of sending through the snail mail, we do have a P.O. box that you can reach us at. You can send cards and letters or fan art. We'd love to see what you guys... I've seen some amazing fan art, by the way. We've gotten some really, really cool stuff, and I'd love to be able to show it off. It'd be really fun. You can get us at Flynn and Richard at P.O. Box 11517, Oakland, California 94611. Very exciting. So don't forget, work on those MOCs. We want you to stay safe. We want you to stay healthy. Keep washing your hands. I'm sure that we can get Richard out here for a goodbye before we do our final sign off. But thanks everybody so much for joining us today. Join us again tomorrow at 10 a.m. We will be here finishing up the Alice in Wonderland build with our plants and our tea cart, and then we'll be moving on to another set. And I'd be really interested if you guys want to email us at flynn@trickybricks.com. I'd love to hear some of your feedback on stuff that you'd like to see.
Oh, yeah.
Do you want us to see us do more MOCs? Would you like to see us do more sets? Or do you have anything interesting that you'd be interested in seeing? So, all right, thank you everyone so much. Bye, Bama Bricks. We're looking forward to tomorrow, too. Thank you, everybody who joined us today. Thanks, Mark, for being here. We will... As soon as we can get that faster internet, we'll be able to start having guests on. And we want to hit those 1,000 subscribers so that we can start interacting with you all more here on YouTube. So thank you, everybody, so much for joining in. And we will see you next time. All right.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.